Hello and welcome to Restless Gecko Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing a mouse that is so popular that the amount of purchases caused the Ninjutso company to be completely overwhelmed and their QC to go completely to the dogs. It is a mouse adopted by the Valorant legend Tenz himself after his stint on the XM2 Wii and the Lamzu Atlantis Mini. He moved on to the Ninjutso Sora V2, and this is what we are looking at today. So just to go over the specs, it weighs 39 grams without skates and it's a completely holeless design. The material is a polycarbonate composite material, which is incredibly light, incredibly durable, absolutely no flexing whatsoever. This thing is solid as a tank. It is ridiculously rigid. It features a 3395 with a 1K polling dongle out of the box, which is weird because it's identical to the 4K dongle by the looks of it, but obviously doesn't have that 4K capability, or at least not as far as we know. So in order to get the 8K you need to buy the dongle. There was a little bit of controversy over that as they sort of misled people, maybe unintentionally, saying that the 8K would be included in the mouse, with the mouse, sorry. But obviously that didn't happen. They later clarified on their website. Currently, the 8K dongle is reportedly being distributed in China currently, so it should be available soon. It features Omron opticals, and it has a TTC 9mm encoder for the wheel, which is very nice. So just to give you a little bit of a sound test. So the mouse is incredibly light, and it does have a little bit of a hollow sound to it at times, but yeah, it's incredibly light. It really does. When people say, oh, it feels like an extension of my arm, this genuinely does, because it weighs nothing. It really does weigh absolutely nothing. The coating is a matte fingerprint magnet. Anything and everything will stick to it. If you have even slightly moist hands, it sticks like glue, so it is very good in that respect. It is exclusively a claw grip mouse, designed for the claw grip. It does feature a few changes from the original shape. So it has indents on the mouse 1 and mouse 2, so it gives you a little bit more stability. There, I believe the hump is slightly wider at the hips at the back, and the hump itself generally is a little bit taller as well. So it does suit that claw grip a little bit more than the old one did. The old one was a bit more ambiguous, the old shape, but this is very much claw centered in terms of its shape, and it's been great. I really like it. It's a little bit restrictive. It does sort of force you into a very locked in claw, just due to the size of that hump there and the width of it as well. It fits into the palm quite nicely, if you can see there. So these two muscles on either side of my palm really sort of like squeeze against it and keep it locked in place. But yeah, it's a really good mouse, and I can understand why Tenz uses it, because he can pull off ridiculous flicks with very little effort to it. Yeah, really good mouse, really good quality. You can configure everything using the Ninja Force website, so everything can be done through your browser. You don't need to download any dodgy software that's going to leave any Chinese spyware on your computer. You'll get no flags or anything like that. You simply just connect it. It'll say connect your HID device, and then you just click it and it's all hooked up, and you can change it from there. Slightly better than the GWolves one. So the GWolves currently have the same thing, and it works with the HDX and the HTS, so anything with the 3399 or the 3395 sensor in it. The only issue I have with the GWolves version is that you can set it, close the browser, and then all of a sudden the mouse will go back to the previous DPI setting or the previous settings that you had on. You've got to open it again and then refresh it again to make sure that everything's taken place, and then it does work. So you've got to do everything twice with the GWolves mice. So theirs isn't the best sort of like website for configuring the mouse, but the Ninja Force is very good, I have to say. It's a little bit slow to load, but once it loads, everything works perfectly fine. The performance of the mouse and the sensor is just like everything else with the 3395. It's very good. If you want to check the latency, check House Gaming for that. He has everything, all the numbers there. But yeah, it's a fantastic mouse, very lightweight, great for sort of micro adjustments and for flicking in general. If you have larger hands and you're looking to track, it might be a little bit of an issue because your fingers do tend to drag on the mouse pad a little bit. I have 19 by 11 hands, and to be honest with you, it's fine. I think any bigger and you might struggle a little bit. It is a medium-sized claw grip mouse, so it's smaller than the XM1R or the XM2W or XM2W, which should be out this month, which I'm very much looking forward to, and the OP1W 4K. But yeah, it's very much there with the competition. It is lacking with only the 1K polling, but I think I paid £86, which is what, like $95, something like that. So for that price, not bad at all, really not bad at all. But I would expect the 4K polling to be standard these days, especially if you're offering an 8K dongle. I can understand if you want to offer the 8K dongle as like an add-on to purchase later, but I mean, we haven't had the GWolves 8K implementation yet. We're still waiting on that. They were supposed to come out with the HDR, but still nowhere to be seen. But at least they provided you with a 4K dongle in the meantime that is upgradable to the 8K. I believe the circle dongles don't quite work with the 8K, but they work with the 4K, and this will work with 4K and 8K for GWolves. But yeah, it would have been nice to have received a 4K dongle as standard with the option to upgrade to the 8K, seeing as 4K really is the standard these days. 8K, not so much. I find that with 8K, it nukes Valorant and it nukes Aim Labs for some reason. I think because they are CPU bound mainly. Anything that's GPU bound, like the Finals or Battlefield, Call of Duty, 8K you won't have a problem with, but anything where obviously it's forcing your CPU to queue up frames and then also analyze your mouse movements, the more mouse movements you get through, the more it's going to disrupt that and cause stuttering, until at least they patch that for the game in question. But yeah, really, really good mouse. Can massively recommend it, especially if you're a claw grip user. Great claw grip mouse. Very light clicks. Very intuitive to hold. It sort of forces you into a sort of semi-relaxed claw, and I can absolutely massively recommend it. And thank you to Zerk Gaming Mods. I messed up my order and they fixed it in a very short amount of time so I could get this. I've had it for a couple of weeks now, and yeah, I'm really, really liking it. I don't think it'll quite become my main, but it is definitely one of the top claw gaming mice that I have used. So yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully the next review will be of the OP1W 4K as soon as that comes out. We're just waiting on that to launch. I believe they have some certification that it needs to go through before they can launch it, and once that's done, it should be out hopefully by the end of the month. Very excited for that one. I think that's going to be one of the best value gaming mice you can buy, especially as soon as you'll be able to swap the switches. But yeah, so stay tuned for the OP1 4K, sorry, and anything else I've got coming up in the future. So if you'd like to help the channel, please subscribe and leave a like. If you want to comment and ask me any questions on the mice, anything I've on my desk or anything in the description, let me know and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.